Alright, what's up, y'all? So for the last video, I promised that I'll be releasing the details for the giveaway at the end of this video. So stick till the end to find out the instructions for the giveaway. But let's get back into the video, man. The NBA draft is always one of the most exciting events in the basketball world. It is the start of a new beginning, the commencement of the future of the NBA. And with it comes a lot of hype every single year, especially with player comparisons. Why this guy's gonna be the next Steph Curry, why that guy's gonna be the next Kevin Durant. It happens every year. However, the first time I was really introduced to this kind of hype was 2014. Now, like I said, every draft does have a lot of hype, right? There is hype to every single draft class, like this isn't new. But I vividly remember 2014 being a different story. People were viewing this draft as possibly the best draft class since 2003 and up there with the likes of the 1984 draft and the 1996 draft. And I know it seems like they say that every year, but it's one thing to say that this year's draft class is going to be talented and very deep, and there's another thing to directly compare it to the legendary draft classes of all time. And that was the case for 2014. I remember this draft being viewed and called the transcendent draft.
The transcendent draft. Teams dreamed of it, they schemed for it, some tanked because of it, and fans are starting to come into Brooklyn's Barclays Center to see where this deep pool of talent will wind up.
Many viewed this draft as being so stacked that they called it a draft filled with transcendent players. A draft filled with players that will change the course of NBA franchises around the league. And it all started with the most hyped draft prospect of them all, in Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins going into this draft was viewed as the most athletic person in the draft with an extremely high upside. So much upside that he was being compared to the likes of LeBron James and Tracy McGrady. This was the guy he was viewed to be as. He was viewed as the transcendent of all transcendent players in this draft. He was viewed as the guy that will not only carry the Timberwolves to prosperity, but easily be one of the faces of the league in the near future. This was Andrew Wiggins and his expectations coming into the league. Fast forward 4 years into his career, and relatively speaking, he has done nothing. Aside from winning Rookie of the Year, there are no All-Star appearances, no All-NBA selections, no All-Defensive teams, and didn't even get close to the playoffs until last year when Jimmy Butler joined the team. And as soon as Jimmy Butler got injured, he was not equipped to lead the team and had to go to the last minute of the regular season just to lock a playoff spot. Yes, he has been a 17 point per game scorer in his career, but the increase in points per game in his second and third year are literally just due to him getting more touches. His effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage barely improved, and outside from being an inefficient scorer, he's an average rebounder, not a good passer, and not a good defender. And while I get that Jimmy Butler coming in would reduce his points per game and get him less touches, although he still took the most shots out of the three and had a higher usage rating than Cat. If you are supposed to be this transcendent player, the next Tracy McGrady, the next LeBron, heck, even if we just tone it down to being a perennial all-star, there is no excuse for you having the least efficient year you've ever had and not improving on any aspect of your game aside from scoring 4 years into the league. None. And then we have the number 2 pick of the draft in Jabari Parker. This was a guy with similar expectations to Wiggins in the sense that he was supposed to be their franchise player and one of the best players in the league. His expectations was being the next Carmelo Anthony. And I know y'all forgot how good Carmelo was in his prime, but in his prime, Carmelo was a top 10 player in the league. He was a perennial all-star and a top 3 scorer. Sad to say, Jabari has not been that guy, and it's largely due to injuries. In his 4 years in the league, Jabari has only had one healthy year, and that was his sophomore year where he put up, alright numbers. Nothing spectacular from a guy touted to be as the next Carmelo. But aside from that, he only played 25 games his rookie year, missed 30 games his third year, and 50 games his fourth year. You know what, man? Hopefully Jabari comes back stronger than ever, but as far as being the guy that everyone expected him to be, he has not been that. And then we go to Dante Exum, aka the next Kobe Bryant. Yes, if y'all remember the hype going into this draft, you would remember Exum being touted as the next Kobe Bryant. largely due to the fact that he was built similarly to Kobe, being a 6'6" shooting guard that can handle the ball and create his own shot. He was this year's unknown European prospect with high potential, and there's always one of those every year. In his rookie year, he simply wasn't good, only averaging 5 points a game and starting 41 of the 82 games he played. He would, however, tear his ACL in his second year and would have a shoulder injury causing him to miss 60 plus games last year. So like Jabari, his career has been heavily affected to injuries, but even in the times where he was healthy, it was pretty clear that he wasn't going to be the player that everyone expected him to be. Marcus Smart was also a very hyped up prospect in this draft, getting comparisons to the likes of Derrick Rose and Baron Davis. He was touted as that athletic freak point guard that would bully his way to the rim. Yes, coming into this draft, Marcus Smart was viewed more of a scoring point guard that can defend and facilitate. Now look, Marcus Smart has transformed into one of the best defenders in the league and an extremely valuable piece to one of the best teams in the league in the Boston Celtics. But coming into this draft, and I vividly remember this because I'm a Boston Celtics fan, we viewed him as our next franchise player, and it turned out he would just be a role player. My favorite role player in the league, but just a role player. Look, man, I can keep going, right? Noah Vonleh was very hyped up in the draft class, being this like very versatile big. James Young was viewed as the steal of the draft at 17 and was viewed as this like James Harden type of player. Nick Stauskas was supposed to be like the next JJ Redick, but then his first year he was shooting like 34% from 3. Now mind you, JJ Redick averages 41 to 42% from 3 in his career. Doug McDermott, you know, he wasn't viewed as a star, but he was viewed as like a 17 to 20 point per game scorer. But this is what it comes down to. This was a draft viewed to be a rival to the likes of 2003 and 1996, the transcendent draft. The only person that has come close to reaching those expectations is Joel Embiid. For a draft class to be this hyped, it has a combined 1 All-Star appearance and 1 All-NBA selection. And that 1 All-Star appearance and that 1 All-NBA selection all comes from one player, Joel Embiid. Am I saying this draft class is trash? No, far from it. There are a lot of players in this class that are talented and are, you know, stars in the league. Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Clint Capella, Gary Harris, Julius Randle are all good to great players in this league. And even the guys that I named in this video that I criticized, Aaron Gordon, Marcus Smart, they're still good players in the league. Andrew Wiggins, although I believe he's extremely overrated, he's still he could be much worse. Zach LaVine, Jordan Clarkson, Nurkic. I mean, there's a lot of NBA talent in this class, and it's a very deep class. However, in comparison to the hype it was getting, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most overhyped draft class of the century. Now, if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's get this video to 2K likes. Also, at the end of the last video, I did promise that at the end of this video, I will be giving away the details for the giveaway. So for the giveaway, I will be giving away 1 free copy of NBA 2K18. Alright guys, I'm literally editing this video as we speak, and I just noticed I said 2K18. I'm giving away a free copy of 2K19, so don't worry, y'all aren't gonna get last year's game. Like, I'm not that cheap, you know? So, again, 2K19. All you have to do to enter is go ahead and go into the description and click the first link. It is the Gleam link. The instructions will be there, but pretty much all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitter to be entered. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm out. Peace. The first thing I want to talk about today, though, is the news that I was just talking about. So, Kevin Love has signed a 4-year, $120 million contract extension with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, the first thing that hit my head was this kind of feels familiar, because when LeBron left Miami, Chris Bosh got that huge ass contract. And people were like, Chris Bosh's agent is a G. And I feel like Kevin Love is kind of